Alright guys, welcome back to the next episode of our F1M24 career mode. We are here in the final episode of Season 2. It's been a minute since we've recorded, and this is actually going up the day after recording, so a little bit of a crunch time here because I'm going to have to edit right after this video to get it up in time for you guys to get back rolling on my schedule. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the last few episodes with the face cam. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really happy that I can use the green screen. But yeah, so I can't show anything for the inbox because it's gonna be spoilers for next time. And I am contemplating still if I wanted to live stream the first episode, which we'll go into the season details in the preseason episode after this one. But we're going to go ahead and simulate through Qatar. We'll see you guys for the results. And we're just going to jump right into this finale for Abu Dhabi. So we'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so here we are to the results of the Qatar Grand Prix. There was a sprint race weekend here. And unfortunately, our guys did not do great. Logan Sargent, P21. Frederick Vesti just outside of the points in P11. Neither of our drivers scoring points in the sprint. And yeah, no moves in the Drivers' Championship for us. Verstappen passing Daniel Ricciardo there, both tied to 15 points. And Red Bull overtaking McLaren. And that title fight is going to be going into the final race of the season. So we're hoping. But the Drivers' Championship looks like it has been claimed by Fernando Alonso. I doubt. Nope, that's not going to be possible. Fernando Alonso is going to be our World Driver Champion for the 2025 season. As we move into the final race of the season, 3 race wins, 1 sprint win, 17 podiums, 6 pole positions, no DNS actually for him for Aston Martin, and then 2 fastest laps. Very good so far. And our guys aren't doing too bad. Logan Sargent really not doing great against Vesti. 1 fastest lap, 1 DNF compared to Vesti's 2 race wins, 4 podiums, 1 sprint win, and 3 fastest laps. So that's definitely something we have to look into in the off season for contracts. As we move on to pit stops, we've got P7, 6 points. We're sitting P9. 67 points against Kick Sauber, and 2.2 for Vesti's second pit stop there on lap 40, and 639k. We want to try to get as much money as we can before the end of the season. We are done with research. We have one more. We have the front wing research going through before the end of this next race, and then there it is right there. And then we have. We actually don't need to spend money on extra parts for this final race, so that's a good thing. And turn on my face cam actually, but even though we're just gonna jump right into this final race, we're gonna go ahead and go through. Let's see what we got here. Rear wing, powertrain, not doing great. Do I have another one? I do not. But we are gonna go ahead and swap over to one that has the most wear possible, being the last race of the season. And then buying those extra parts earlier in the season really did help us out. What do we have for gearboxes? You have an issue, minor damage. Okay, we'll risk it with that one. It's just on gearbox engine. Yeah. We're hoping to finish the race for this final episode, but our stats aren't looking quite likely for our drivers. We are looking to improve on that, hopefully, but we will have to wait and see. So we're going to go ahead and hit these required responses, and we'll see you guys for qualifying in Abu Dhabi for this season finale.
Our weekend continues with qualifying. as the drivers fight it out for a strong grid position.
Drivers are able to defend well during races at Abu Dhabi, preventing rivals from gaining easy positions. Setting a good grid position during qualifying is fundamental as a result.
Haroon, how do you think Logan Sargent's going to be feeling at the moment?
It hasn't been a great showing from the team's drivers so far. Neither will want to be left behind, and I'm sure they'll both be looking to pull ahead today.
So stay with us, folks. It's sure to be a good one.
All right, so here we are in qualifying, and we got our guys up to 100% setups and track acclimatization. We're just gonna go ahead and jump right into this. Oh, I didn't have to do that. But yeah, we got them at 100% acclimatization. A little bit of stuttering going on here as we head out onto the track. Got Sonoda ahead. Hopefully Sargent can get a tow from that. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, 100% acclimatization to the track. 100% setups. We actually got our setups early practice too. So we're getting a lot better with that. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and see you guys near the end of this first run.
Keep working on your
guys in a
bases.
second. Alright, we got Sargent not too far back behind Sonoda. Not too much for a tow, but we'll have to see where his time's at. Sonoda coming across the line first, 122.1. 4/10 off the pace. Vesti 3/10 off the pace, so 1/10 between the two. Not too bad. Vesti was sitting farther back
Make sure you stay
behind
negative.
Sargent. Had a lot of room ahead of him to work on what he could. So that's personal best so far. We'll see how we scale up against some of the other drivers, because practice 1 and 2 we were running standard on mediums and hards, and we were top 10 for both practice 1 and 2. Practice 3 we actually ran long on mediums, like we ran 35 laps on mediums to get the track acclimatization up to that 100%. But we'll see you guys here for the next run. Hopefully we don't have to do another one and we're safe to get into Q2, but we'll have to wait and see. So we'll see you guys in a second. Alright, here we are for the final run. Vesti actually had an engine fault. We can't feel right now as he's coming around the final corner. See if he can improve. He has 2 yellow sectors. See if sector 3 is another sector. No, it is not. We wanted to run them just in case on the same set of tires, just in case we didn't have to really try anything to get into Q2. But as of right now, Sargent sitting in P13. We are good to get into Q2 with 45 seconds remaining. Final few corners for Sargent, 2 yellow sectors. Once again, they are on the same set of tires that we ran first, and I actually gave them an extra cooldown lap, so that was my mistake. I forgot to do that. But as of right now, we are good to go into Q2.
Copy.
We'll go ahead and fast forward and not skip over Sargent P14. And that's us into Q2. So let's go ahead and skip through here. I wanted to take a look and see what that engine part was. Engine minor damage, 24%. And oh, I can't change it. That will be a alright, Vesti's gonna have to do his best for the remainder of this weekend. I am not gonna go ahead and actually, oh fuck it, let's do it. Finish at 27. I'll have a pit lane start. Yeah, he's gonna have a pit lane start, so we might as well just fucking slap on pit for him. What is this one again? Minor damage. But it has good condition though. Vessi will be starting from pit lane, so he's basically going to sit out, just run. I do feel confident. We've done it before where we've gotten back into the points from the back of the field. We did that a few episodes ago. Alright, let's get to it. I will see you guys for the first run. Alright, here we are. Sergeant's going to be setting the pace lap for Q2. He's got, looks like a Red Bull behind him. That's Perez on an out lap. See what we improved from last session. 1:22.1. Basically right there where we were last time in last session. And I believe still got a ways before the next person sets the time, so we'll go ahead and see you guys for the next run, or final run of Q2, see if we can get Sergeant into the top 10.
Copy.
Alright, final run of Q2. Sergeant running 2 yellows. Not looking great here. I should have put him on a third set, but I did want to save for the race. It's a green sector 3, not enough to get him into Q3. That's going to be P11 as of right now, and P16 back of the grid. Pit lane start for Vesti. So, that's pretty much it for us. We will see you guys for the start of the race here in the finale in Abu Dhabi.
Only 58 laps stand between the drivers and the checkered flag as they prepare to duel it out under the lights here in Abu Dhabi.
Gas Marina has played host to a fair few title-deciding races, such as 2016 when Lewis Hamilton secured the top podium spot, only for Mercedes teammate Nico Rosberg to claim second and secure his maiden World Championship.
There's a reason why the Yas Marina circuit is used as a test track. The long straights put engine power through its paces, while the twists and bends make medium-speed downforce just as important at this challenging circuit. Race day has arrived, and the time has almost come for these drivers to fight it out, wheel to wheel. Well then, it's not long until we get started here, and we should be in for a tightly contested race. Well, they certainly appear calm and composed heading into this race.
There's no hiding from the fact that this is going to be a difficult one. P22 and a strong field that won't want to yield.
Here we go. It's time to go racing. Anything could happen.
Alright,
It's the
here
Abu
we
Dhabi
are.
Grand Prix.
The sun is setting on Abu Dhabi for the final
It's
race of the
lights out,
season.
and away we go.
Starting from the pits for Vesti with engine issues, starting P14. See where he's at on the inside of the Hassel-Hulkenberg. You have Sonoda ahead of Albon, trying to make a move there. And our tire strategies are pretty similar. We're going to play it safe as we can, try to get up into the points, because I know we've done that several times in this season. See how far back Vesti is. He'll have some free reign to try and catch up to them. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong driver. He has 16 laps to run on those soft tires. Sergeant having 17 to run. Let's see what this gearbox unfixable. Risk of failure is low. Powertrain temp will raise throughout the race. But it's minor, so he's got some ground to make up. Missed an overtake there on Albon. Sergeant. And now that we're here in this final race, I'm starting to think of what kind of livery I need to do for next season.
Yeah, copy that.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll go ahead and have Vesti push. We already have them pushing. We did that between the race and qualifying. We have some stuff going on in the apartment. I have a dehumidifier that we're borrowing from maintenance. going on in the background. If you guys can hear it, I apologize. If not, then you don't have to worry about that. But Vesti has already caught up to Russell after the end of the first lap. Sargent running pretty good in P11 currently, fighting against Hauger in P10. Take a look at our tire strategies. Handful of people going from hards to probably softs or mediums. There's an overtake on Russell.
Right, we're taking the second corner. There's the opening.
A very aggressive move on the inside there in Sector 3.
And that move puts them
No,
in
that's Sector 1.
21st.
Yeah, that's a pit exit, Sector 1. I still don't know what these markers are. I don't know if that's anything to do with the liveries or not. Nice onboard. Pretty early on too, so we'll most likely use this as a very good thumbnail with the sunset right there on the car. We'll go ahead and use that as he makes his way up into P10. Vesti pushing against the Alpine of Gasly, moving on the inside. Ooh. I don't know about that. We're gonna have to watch the overtake. We were on board when it happened. Perez up in the lead ahead of Leclerc and Alonso. And the fight right now, like I said a minute ago, is for constructors. So Red Bull, McLaren. So as of right now in the standings, McLaren will fall behind. Sargent overtakes Verstappen. Let's take a look at that.
Here we are then at the 11th corner.
On the inside
They
of
decide
Sector
to give it a
3.
go.
End of Sector 2, start of Sector 3. Nice move there.
And they move
Verstappen
into
not having a
ninth.
great season in that Mercedes car. But as we were saying, constructors, Red Bull is currently ahead as they stand. McLaren is sitting behind. McLaren needs to have a strong finish, and Aston Martin, they are out of the fight for second. So it's McLaren versus Red Bull like it was this previous season of F1. Vesti's up in a P19, fighting against Magnussen. Hulkenberg has a new issue on their car. And that's pretty much it. So Vesti's going to have to work up to where he needs to be. Sargent's currently P9. Our first pit stop's going to be around lap 16. So we'll sim forward and we'll see what happens.
Keep an eye on your battery. Okay, good job. So that's P16. In front, Zoo. Okay, we have.
Alright, red flag. Contact between Vesti and... Who was that in the Williams?
And for the crew watching on in the
That's-
garage,
oh.
that really
He
must
was
have
up
been
in
a
the
hard one to
P16.
take.
Please don't let that be a DNF. It's gonna be dry weather. Yeah. Okay, Vesti is out of the race. Sargent has a chance to score points. And I believe he has a chance to move up in the championship. Let's take a look at our strategy here. So I want to go hards to mediums. I can't check anything else right now. You know, we're gonna go hards. We're gonna swap over to hards. Itch on that. Yeah, vesting Paul Aaron out there. I believe
A
lap
sense
12
of
it was.
deja vu
Lap
here
10.
as the
All right,
drivers
here we
once
go.
again face the countdown.
Another standing restart. Lap 6
And
it was.
it's lights out, and away we go.
A lot of more people going on the hard tires now. Some people staying on those hard tires. As Sargent sitting up in P8. Paul Aaron with this penalty, causing the collision. That doesn't matter. It's the end of the season. but those penalties will not carry over. Go ahead and deploy the battery since we have it.
Overtake available.
Get
Copy
Sergeant
that.
his first win. I don't believe we can view those stats. But we'll go ahead and edit the strategy. Mediums. 35, lap 35. Let's go and do that. And see how we do with him for the remainder of this race. Logan, he's sitting strongly in P9, so even if he does score a decent amount of points, he will not go anywhere in the championship. Vesti has been knocked out. As it stands, Valtteri Bottas scoring 8 points during this race will bump him up to P7. Our drivers will be P8, P9 in the championship. And
Just keep it up.
we are holding on to that P5 in the constructors. Go and take a look at that overtake on Piastri, since we haven't been watching. Nice move on the inside with the DRS through sector 2 as the sun continues to set. Yeah, Red Bull and McLaren are going at it. They're 1-2 right now, Norris and Perez. As we basically move on to our new strategy. We're gonna have to wait till lap 35, so very unfortunate. But we'll have to wait to see what happens here as we're in the top 7 for this final race. Least we can try to do is finish Sargent on a high note. You know, he hasn't been having a great season. I know he didn't do great in the first season with Vesti on the team as well. But we'll have to wait and see. So we're going to go ahead and sim forward. About maybe 15 or about 25 laps maybe. We'll see what happens. So let's get to it. All right, it is currently lap 21. First iteration of pit stops. People were staying on the old tires, and they're going on the hard tires for a long run.
Phase now, please. Phase.
We ran 35 laps on the mediums on a very slow pace, so I believe those hard tires are going to try to go to the end. Some of those guys, they might have to go to the softs on the end because of that early red flag. But we are running with some engine wear. Minor engine fault for the medium risk. It dropped down, actually. It was at a high risk. The gearbox was at a high risk. We ran for a little bit under driving clean air to try to cool the car down. And we're still fighting against Piastri and Bottas.
So
Up
we
where we are currently. It's provisional P7,
Norris now, car in
P8.
front.
But with those
Gap
pit
in front,
stops,
6
it's
seconds.
happened.
Bottas is the car behind.
Yeah, all these
2.3
guys
behind.
are the ones who didn't. All these guys are the ones who changed those tires under the red flag. Joe went in. A couple of signs and signs. Hauger. I believe those guys just went into the pits. Let me look at the tires again. Yeah, so Leclerc, who went in, Signs, and then Joe were the 3 drivers that went into pits. We still have about 15 or so laps before we go into the pits on our stop, and hopefully we finish strong on the points, even though we do have these engine issues coming in for us as we start to hit the lights on the track. No sunshine to be, well, there is sunset in Abu Dhabi is actually really nice. I remember playing it on F123 and F124. The sunset is really nice on the game. But, yeah, there is Russell and the Alpine going into the pits for their stop. I'm going to take a peek at what they're in. Going on the hard tires. So it seems like everybody's going on the hard tires for a mid-race stint. And a lot of those hard tire runners that stayed out. Especially Magnussen, I feel like he's about to come in. But yeah, currently running P4, provisional P8, P7. And we'll have to wait and see what happens when we go into pits. So we'll send forward to the pit window. All right, so here we are. Pit window has started. Alonso ahead by 12.6 seconds. Norris and Perez in those Red Bull cars really catching up to us. 1.2 is the gap between myself and Norris as we're going on a late stop. I believe everybody else behind us has pit. Yeah, everybody else has pit. So you can see all the second pit stops are the ones who went into the pits for and changed out their tires for that red flag. I don't believe anybody else. Yeah, we're going to be the last ones to come in. Nope, Hauger is going to come in as well. Since we had that little tussle with them, and the Red Bulls are right behind us.
Slip management looks much better now. Good job.
We're just going to go ahead and let them pass.
Focus on that tyre management at this stage.
They are not our fight right now. I don't want you to...
Need to defend that.
I don't need to fight them right now. It's not our fight.
Okay, mate. Absolutely no risks, please.
Copy.
Alright.
Let's go.
You there.
Copy.
Red Bull is not our fight.
Yeah, we
That's a
can pick up the pace
championship fight that McLaren has to deal with. Sainz is doing it all by himself. Piastri's back up into P9. We're gonna go ahead and zoom forward to our pit stop. It's in 2 laps. Let's get to it.
Leclerc now the car.
Alright, here we are. Pit stop. Leclerc has passed us. Bottas was in the fight with us, Sainz as well. Just got some time before Ocon and Piastri, so we're going to be ahead of Noda there in P10. Let's hope for a good pit stop. No issues, that's what we want. Onto a new set of mediums. Those will bring us to the end.
Clear a traffic pit exit.
A lot of those soft tire runners, they may be running double stops to the end. I'll have to wait and see. A little bit of clipping going on in the background. Try to get it as good as possible for the race and qualifying. But
You're in P9.
yeah, so we can run
Next car,
the gas for a little bit. Drop that to neutral standard, and we are defending against
behind.
Sonoda. So we'll
Got
go ahead and put
1.5
the always defend on
23 laps to go.
for the remainder of this race.
We can go
Good pit
recharge
stop.
off.
A battle right now for the end of the points against Sonoda.
Yeah, we're going
in
to
that
try and keep
Porsche.
behind.
As he makes a move on the inside, we'll have DRS coming out.
This is all I've got.
Yeah, let's keep on him. Verstappen now the car behind.
Very nice angle from the helicopter cam.
Overtake is available.
Holding that outside line. There you go.
Okay, we need some more lift and coast, please. A bit more.
And then
in each zone.
Verstappen has joined the party.
Copy that.
Back there in P11. 3-way battle for points. Alonso in the pits. What did he come out on? He came out on hards. What his pit strategy was. Take a look here in a second. What was that pit strategy? Alonso. Medium, hard, hard. Okay. Going a long run to the end of the race. These soft tire runners won't make it. We'll have to wait and see. 31. That's lap 30. Or is that 31 laps on the hard tires? Yeah, 31 laps on the hard tires. Sounds about right. That minor fault's not really causing us any issues right now. We're just a 3-way battle, and Verstappen gets squeezed out. We switched back over to them at the right time. We'll go ahead and leave deploy on so we can try to get away from Sonoda.
Overtake's available.
Copy.
We'll go ahead and leave defending at neutral right now. Because if he's, I don't doubt he's on better tires. He's on hard tires and he's challenging me for position. All right, we'll leave it at that. Go ahead and sim forward and see what happens within these next few laps for the final race of the season. All right, let's go. All right, 15 laps to go. We're up in P7. Sonoda fell back after we dumped our ERS, dumped our
Happy
battery.
with management.
Bottas took another pit stop for a new set of mediums, which I find kind of concerning. Towards the end of the race, at least. Fernando Alonso's back up into P3. Lando Norris holding on to that. Sergio Perez. McLaren's back in the fight. So while we're... Oh, Verstappen's in the pits. While we're right in the middle of things, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the constructors as of right now. Fernando Alonso ahead wins. Red Bull would win 668 to 646. McLaren still trying to put up a fight with that. Norris in P1. Leclerc needs to knock him out.
Bottas now the car behind.
12.7
Bottas
seconds
2 seconds
ahead.
behind.
He's way up.
Still all to play for.
He's way up there, and then the Ferrari of Leclerc is way back there. Wow. Oh, is he? Oh, Hulkenberg's getting the toe from Norris. Oh yeah. That fight is I doubt we're getting Norris off of that podium. Perez up at P5, sandwiched between the McLarens.
Copy that.
As we're starting to
Stick with
close
it for
in
now.
on Piastri.
I'm really struggling with the car at the moment.
Mechanical fault. Power. He's losing a little bit more power, but we're running. We're driving clean air. He's driving in clean air anyways.
Okay, so let's cool the car now.
Yep.
But we'll leave it as is. As Bottas tries to move in within DRS. He's gonna be making an overtake here. Gasly in the pits back there in P15. Everybody out of Ocon's, yeah, everybody out of the top 10 are pretty much out of this race. And let's see who has been lapped. Nobody's been lapped.
I got nothing.
Yeah, nobody's
What
been
can
lapped
happen
yet,
Albon the car behind.
other than Magnussen. If he would go away, please. Yeah, oh, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Norris. Yeah, Hulkenberg, Gasly. Gasly, Hulkenberg, Magnussen are the only three drivers as of right now who have been lapped. Even though they are fighting together, that's not really much of a difference. They're just fighting to finish this race pretty much. As we have... oh, wait. Yeah, Bottas passed us. Yellow flag!
Couple of cars off there.
Where'd it happen?
Sector
Sector
33 there, please.
Take a look. Yep, it was Pierre Gasly and Magnussen there behind the Red Bull of Lando Norris. A little bit of contact there. That damage is not going to be fun for the end of this race. Alonso has a mechanical fault. That's not going to help. But it may. Bottas making a move on Piastri. Aston Martin putting up a fight here at the final race of the season. Even though they are out of this race, or out of the fight. Valtteri Bottas looking to pass. Well, we said that earlier. Lando Norris looking to pass Oscar Piastri in the championship with those 25 points. Red Bull still about 30, projected 30 points difference as we near the end of this race. So we're going to go ahead and sim forward to the final 3 laps, and we're just going to go straight through the rest of those. So let's get to it. You guys can see how bad my green screen is on a dark screen, so I'm a little worried about playing a lethal company with it. Need to get some better lighting, but I am on the side of our apartment, so that is unfortunate. Sainz makes a pass on us, I believe. He's 7. 3 laps to go. Ocon is putting some pressure on us. P8. Tsunoda starting to close in again. Final lap. Ocon P8, my Sergeant P9, and Piastri P10. Norris, Alonso, Perez for this championship fight. We are fighting this car to the end of the race.
Okay, last lap.
Copy.
A lot of cars having damage and engine issues throughout the season and this race. I think the most we had was, I think it was Baku. I could be wrong. I don't remember. Like, the majority of our cars had some engine issues about halfway through the season. So we defend against Piastri.
Diaz DRS.
Go ahead and dump that battery and go aggressive.
Overtake button available.
Copy.
Is that an Aston
Push up.
Martin? That's a Mercedes, a Verstappen as well.
Yes, mate, let's do what we
Lando
need to
Norris
stay
wins,
ahead.
Perez P2, Alonso P3, Leclerc with the fastest lap in that Ferrari in P4. So we fend off Verstappen. Now we're hoping to make a move on Piastri for P9. 2 points will be better than one.
Doing a good job.
Dumping the battery there in Sector 2.
But
We'll
this
take a
is
look
what
at that.
happened. Now this is Logan Sargent.
Nice onboard. I just wish my
The
graphics could
opportunity's
handle
there.
better quality. But no.
And ahead goes Logan Sargent.
All right. Coming around these final few corners, I hope he has enough battery left to finish out the final few corners here. Sonoda P7, Ocon P8, Bottas P5, Leclerc P4. Take a look at that in a second. Come around the final corner ahead of Piastri, Verstappen just outside of the points
Okay, and that is the
for
check
this
flag.
final race of the season. And Red Bull claims this championship 676 to 635. We'll see it again here after the race. And we are not actually on the board for the top 10 for this race. We got P16 for that. Dennis Hauger has a puncture on the cooldown lap. Fernando Alonso, our World Drivers Champion, and Red Bull taking the Constructors.
The Red Bull team are going to be celebrating tonight, I bet. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Constructors Champions.
And they certainly had to work hard for it, with no way to tell who was going to take the title.
Lando Norris certainly loves a podium, heading up there now to celebrate again.
It almost feels like it doesn't need saying after a 7th win, but another stunning performance today.
Hard to believe that's another one over. The season's ended, the party's just beginning, here in Abu Dhabi.
And there is Fernando Alonso on the podium for his
How do you think they'll be
Drivers'
feeling in the team
Championship.
garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And that then concludes our time here in Abu Dhabi.
And that's it for this season of Formula One. The teams will be working hard in the break, gearing up for another year of thrilling F1 action.
All right. Let's take a look at the nitty gritty here. Lando Norris. 4 positions, Logan Sargent. 5 positions up to P9. Best see that contact with Paul Aaron. That sucked. Fernando Alonso. 425 to Lando's 360. And then 676 to 635. About a 41 point gap. As we finish out in P5, 208 against Haas at 104. Alpine not having a great season. Fastest lap. We get P9 throughout the season for the fastest lap. I hope we get a decent amount of money for that. Right. 733,000 for that race. Looks like I don't know. That's probably just me. Alright. I was gonna add a little bit more AI voices to this season, but I decided to cancel my subscription and not do that because I'm not running those F1 career modes. I'll probably repurchase subscription when we get to F125 if it is any good. But we're not going to be doing that for this season. We'll just do it all hands on deck. 1.9 million for 9th place at 67 points. Sporting director of Mentality, Ben Zender. I still don't know how to say his name. And high confidence, unchanged from the board for the fastest pit stop. End of season. We got 3.9 million. And I don't want to go in here quite yet. Because we have some contract stuff. There's contract editing with our current staff. And yeah. So we have I'm still trying to understand actually no, I need to go here. Oh, excuse me. I'm still trying to understand this research. From what I understand, watching one of Arava's, I don't know how to say your name. I'm still butchering that. If you do end up watching this, but what I understand from his video is that the changes are immediately affected, like at the time of the research. So that'll be the ground zero, and then you're building off of that ground zero. So you're losing that much percentage. And then from that new starting point, you're gaining that much back. So the chassis, we have 2 researches done for each section. So we about half on that, less than half on that, less than half on that, less than half. And I honestly feel like we try to do as much as we can, but we'll have to see where we stack up on the R&D chart. I'm going to try and use that R&D chart for next season, but we'll have to wait and see. Side pods, I tried to get side pods as much as I could. It's just a lot of stuff that you want to do, especially trying to do parts for the regular season. The airflow front, I feel like it's going to be doing really good for cornering in the next season. Tire preservation, airflow front, I focused on that first, and I really wanted to improve that. So hopefully that will be better. But yeah, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed our season. Our guys finished in 8th and 9th, 81 overall for Vesti, and 79 overall for Logan Sargent. And P5 in the constructor standings, P8 and P9 for drivers. 128 points from Vesti, second year in the team. Logan Sargent sitting at 80 ahead of Dennis Hauger. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the regular season. And I'm pretty much going to go ahead and record what we got for the next season, pre-season. So I'm going to close out the game. I'm going to install the new mods that we're going to be running. And then we're going to be recording the preseason episode, going over the transfers, the schedule, and then staff changes. And then I might go into the editor and fiddle with some engine component stuff. Because that's what my plan was for the 2026 season, was to go ahead and add like a little approval to engine modification for like quality or something. But it's not going to be too major. I'm going to do that engine tweak after the next season starts. That way teams don't jump the gun on like, oh, this engine is registered as better, we're going to go ahead and change that. But I will have to wait and see. I have to experiment with some liveries, with the custom liveries that we have for the Create team. And that's pretty much it. So we will see you guys in the next episode for the preseason of Season 3 in 2026. See you guys later.